quite the treat for you folks. We have as our guest this evening, right next to me, J. John Parker from the VFW Solomon Post 8819 in Billerica, and the famous, or infamous, I guess some would say, Paul Cardello, who does Sports Forum here for us. These gentlemen are here to talk to us about iPods for wounded veterans and also iPads for wounded veterans. Now, I know you may have heard a little bit about this on Paul's show, but we thought we would take the time to highlight some events that are coming up and really give you a bird's eye view of why these gentlemen are so involved with the cause. So I'll start with you, Commander Parker. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Lisa.
We know each other off the air, so this should be easy.
We sure do.
So tell me why you got involved with the iPods for wounded veterans and how that happened.
Well, I took the trip down to Washington, D.C. on the trip to see the monuments. And right across from me was Paul Cardello. And he got to telling me about the iPods, and I knew right then and there, as soon as he told me what he was doing with the iPods, I had to get in. I had to get involved. Right. My post and myself and the Women's Auxiliary, we got involved with this, and it's been a pretty good trip.
Right.
You know.
And just so folks know, these iPods are used and iPads are used for veterans who are being rehabilitated from injuries obviously suffered in combat. And we're talking some very serious graphic things that I don't really want to get into. I'm sure you folks can imagine. But what do these iPods and iPads really mean to these veterans? You've been there firsthand actually giving them to them.
I sure have. And I was overwhelmed by the response that these young soldiers were taken by, when we gave them the iPods. They couldn't thank us enough for what we've done. And they couldn't believe people from a small town as Wilmington, Billerica, would go all the way to Washington, D.C. and Bethesda in Maryland to hand them the iPod Shuffle. It's quite a thing to see the expression on their face. Right. Matter of fact, we even had one Marine cry and said, "You really don't know what this means to us."
Right.
And it
because
was overwhelming.
think about the worst illness you've ever had, or maybe you've broken an arm or a leg or something like that, and you're in the hospital, you're at home, you're recuperating. Think about that and then multiply that by about 50 times, because now you've got that you were shot or wounded overseas, that you don't know what's going to happen with your career the rest of your life, that you're in a hospital setting. I mean, this is a serious, serious thing. And if we can provide some joy for them by having them use music to feel better, it's a small thing for us to do for a large price they've paid.
It sure is, Lisa. Yeah. Like I said, they're overwhelmed. The iPod Shuffle holds 300 songs, and they can put any kind of music they want in there, and it helps them with their rehabilitation.
Right. Probably even sleeping too, because post-traumatic stress disorder and things like that. I mean, we all know from what we hear in the news, but you guys are in the trenches doing this work. Now, I know that you came, and Paul, I know you're waiting to chat, and we'll get to you in a second. I know that you came to highlight this event in particular that you're having August 14th at the Solomon VFW Post 8819, which is at 12 Finney Street in Billerica. I do karaoke there for them. It's a great place. Tell us a little bit about the run that you're having and what it's going to involve.
Okay, we're having it's called a poker run with the motorcycles. It's right here.
Yep.
My son has put the ride together. It's going to be escorted by the Middlesex Sheriff Department.
Nice. And
they're going to be leaving Billerica VFW at 10 a.m. on the August 14th, and they're going to be heading up to Pepperell VFW, and then they're going to stay at Pepperell for a little while and grab a card, and then they're going to take off. They're going to go to Townsend VFW.
Nice.
And then they're going to do the same thing there, and then they're going to take off, and then they're going to go to Westford.
So let me just say, the poker run is they get a poker card at each of the stops, and that's how they develop a hand?
Right. They're going to they're going to get one card when they leave our post, then they'll get another card at Pepperell. They get another card at Townsend.
I know, what's after Pepperell? Townsend,
then they'll get another card at Westford, and the fifth card they'll get when they come back to us.
That sounds fun.
And the best poker hand's going to win cash.
Oh, do we know how much?
Not yet, we don't, but we're going to try to do as best we can.
Yes.
This is it's a charity run.
Right.
So we're going to do the best we can to make it worthwhile for everybody to come out.
Absolutely. How many riders do you have so far?
Well, according to what we're hearing, because you don't sign up till that day,
right?
Well, I guess we're going to have quite the turnout.
Right.
I guess the Nam Knights are coming. Supposedly, some of the Nam Knights are coming. Some of the Patriot Guards are coming. The enforcers, some of the enforcers are coming. That's the all-police motorcycle thing.
Wonderful.
We have quite a few bikers around town that are coming from Wilmington, Tewksbury, Dracut. They're
Right.
coming from all over. And we're also, let me tell you, Lisa, we're going to have a barbecue too. It's $20 per rider and $10 per passenger. And we're going to have a cookout. We're going to have hamburgers and hot dogs and chicken wings. And we have a 50-50 plus a
50-50 raffle.
50-50 raffle. Plus we're going to have other raffles. People donated some other raffles. So
Right.
it's going to be a fun day. And of course we have our famous Mr. Rick Larimore, Rod Stewart impersonator. If everybody's seen him, he's phenomenal entertainer.
Right.
He's bringing his full band.
That's going to be
And
amazing.
it's going to be a great show.
And so if you don't ride a motorcycle, you can still get involved and come to the cookout, correct?
Right. If you don't ride a motorcycle, you can still come. It costs you $20. Non-riders are welcome. Non-riders should be there around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And the motorcycle group will be back probably around 2:30. And we're going to start firing up the grills, and we're going to have a
It's gonna be
good-
fun.
We're going to have a great day. It's going to be
I'll be there, you'll be there, you'll be there. It's going to be fun. So the sign up is at 7:45, I see there.
Yep.
And someone's singing the national anthem, right?
right. Yeah, we have a young girl, 16 years old, going to sing the national anthem
Nice.
before they take off. And we're hoping to get the Billerica Minutemen there to fire up the rifles.
Excellent. And so though all the riders go off, and then the cookout occurs when they all come back.
Right.
And then we're going to have entertainment and
Entertainment,
food.
yeah.
$20, that's really good. I mean, his show alone will cost you $20 for a
Oh,
ticket
his show alone
for
will
that.
cost you more than that.
You
You
know.
seen it, right, Paul?
Yeah, way more
Excellent.
than that.
Excellent. So, Mr. Cardello,
Yes.
tell me about how you came up with this whole iPods for veterans thing, because you're really the actual creator, pretty much, of the concept.
Well,
so how did that
we
happen?
went to Washington. We created that trip to Washington, and veteran agent Lou Samaya called Walter Reed Hospital, and asked the administrator over there, what do they really need? And he said they needed iPods. So, one thing led to another, because there's multiple iPods.
Right.
The one with the apps that cost like $300, $250. And they said, no, they want the little one so they have all the stuff to program everything on, so they can clip it right on their journey.
Right.
And they can listen to music while the rehabilitation's going on. But the main thing is, like Walter Reed and Bethesda has all the computer equipment to program any music they
So
want.
that's nice. So they don't really have to do anything except receive the gift.
Yeah.
Which
yeah,
is nice.
No, they received a gift. So, one thing led to, we wanted to go down there with 50, we only could get money for 37.
Wow.
And then we made such a impression, the top administrator of Walter Reed called us back and within 48 hours and says, you have to come back here for Thanksgiving. I says, that's only 5 weeks away. I says, I don't even know if we can have money for 2 iPods. But we went in a high raising fund machine, and then Tex One got involved. We went down on Thanksgiving weekend, we gave 80 iPods.
Wow. How do you decide, Paul, who gets the iPod and who doesn't? That's got to be tough.
Well,
Because
we
you
have
want
a
to give them
computer,
to everybody.
a computer printout sheet, okay? And the way it works is that everybody from Massachusetts is number 1. Secondary, everybody from New England gets it. And then it branches
That's
out.
really good to know, because a lot of times when you give money to a charitable organization, you do want to know where those funds are going. So it's really good to know that we are taking care of our own, so to speak, the
Yeah.
Massachusetts veterans first.
And if you
know.
can see on that, the top picture up there with the soldier, Mr. Massachusetts, holding the Red Sox magazine with David Ortiz on the cover. He is from Stoneham, Massachusetts.
Excellent.
Okay, and he was our first soldier that received an iPod. His iPod broke the night before.
Oh,
So his wife is only 22 years old. She said God sent us.
what luck. What luck.
Yeah, she
really.
said that she prayed that night and God sent us here with
amazing.
iPods.
So you're my little angels, I guess, then, huh?
Yeah,
At least in the iPod world.
And, well, it is involved. We're going to wind up going to Washington, I believe, twice too. We'll be going on 5 to 6 times within 14 months. And, the next one, we already have going back to Washington to see the monuments, but one thing led to another, and, Jay got involved. And then we went up, we said the next time we're going to go all out. And Bill Ricker Post put up $1,000. We went down with iPads,
Right.
2 brand new iPads. So that so we go to Bethesda. We get off the elevator. Oh,
Oh, it's the President of the United States. You better take it.
But we get off the elevator, and all we hear is a buzz in the
Right.
hospital. The iPods are here. The iPods are here. Okay, from the
Wow.
hospital staff. It happened to be the same hospital staff was working when we were there last time.
Right.
So we're going there. You know, we're seeing the most severely injured soldiers.
You can call Obama back
Yeah,
later.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Believe it or not, it's Rod Stewart.
yeah.
Really? That's amazing. Well, he must have felt the energy
Yeah,
from
he-
here.
It's Rick Larimore.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get in on the show
Yeah.
tonight. What can I say? We'll
Yeah.
have a call in when Rick can call next.
But one, one
go
thing
ahead,
led
Paul.
to another. The funny thing, Jay pulls out and gives the iPad to the Bethesda in front of all the doctors there, nurses. And they says, wait a minute, I can't get an iPad. How did you guys get an iPad? It's going to take me 8 weeks to get an iPad. And he pulls out the iPad. So what we did is we gave Bethesda the first iPad,
Right.
and each soldier could sign it out for 2.5 hours.
Nice.
You know, so it kept staying there. And they had a
Excellent.
sign-up sheet, you know, and the parents.
Now,
would
how
get-
many veterans, wounded veterans, are there? Just to give folks an idea, how many are in a hospital? I don't even know.
Oh, sometimes it could be 100, sometimes it could be 50, sometimes it could be 14.
Wow.
The thing is, you have to remember it's an all-volunteer army, okay? And these soldiers are doing 3 to 4 tours of duty here,
Right.
right? And when they come back severely wounded, he can tell you, the family is just as traumatized
Of course.
as a soldier. And he can tell you, Jay can tell you, they come out and shake our hands. They almost want to, you know, and they give us hugs and, you know, Lisa, look, I've been in television for 27 years. I've been there and done that. I've never had an experience in my life like this.
No, that's what keeps you going.
You know,
keeps you going.
so
So I understand that other states have not come up with a program like this yet.
No.
we're the only
We're-
state,
we're
we're the only
brand
little
new,
engine that could
yeah.
that's done it.
we're under a year old. We're brand new.
Right.
We're 501c3 certified. We're nonprofit. We're starting a big push here. We just started. Donate the car and heavy equipment. If you want to get rid of your old car, heavy equipment, you just call Holland Auto Parts. We set up a special phone line. You get credit on your tax return. We have all the official paperwork filled out. But ours is different. We're taking heavy equipment, which means we take 53-foot trailers, 48-foot trailers, dump trucks, steamrollers, anything like that. Anything like the big 10-wheeler dumps trucks that holds stone and
So you pretty
gravel.
much do anything to make money for this organization.
Right.
So,
Oh, yeah,
so we
yeah,
should
this
have a
is-
dunk tank maybe
Yeah.
for you, Paul. That would be
We
good.
even went in the parade down to Charlestown.
Oh yeah, we went in the
How was
Charlestown
that?
Parade.
How was that?
That was great. It was a great
yeah,
response.
it was an amazing experience because, you know, we didn't realize how big it was. I knew the South Boston Parade in Boston was the biggest, but this is right behind it. This is a 2.5-hour parade.
Right.
It's in 3 sections, you know, and you know
Wow.
when the people are cheering us, and you know they
Feels
allowed us
good.
to go on the side, and Jay was giving out flyers, and I had a bucket with an American flag, and they were donating money
Nice.
towards the
What would you
cause.
gentlemen say to other organizations, be it VFWs or Elks Clubs or even businesses, locally
Get
or otherwise?
involved.
Yeah.
Get
involved.
involved. If you like your freedom,
Right.
get involved. These kids are out there fighting for our freedom and letting us live like beautiful in this country. $50 item
Yeah.
means a lot to these kids. Get involved. Everybody get involved.
Yeah.
If each family just gave $5,
Right.
it's all. You know, we're not asking for $1 million here.
Right.
Each family give a little something. These kids appreciate it.
You know, and although it would be nice if the iPod company who makes iPod would
Apple.
get involved, but let's face it, if it's going to get done, it's up to us. So
Yeah,
we can wish,
the
we
private
can wish
sector-
that the
there's a
private
gap-
sector
the
will,
gap-
you know,
There's
but,
a gap here. The private sector
Yeah.
has to step it up. And, you know,
but
you
until
know,
they
w-
do, there's
you
no
know,
reason for us not to get involved.
So you know, we're trying to make this gap, but the thing is, evolve. So you know, I keep saying it's a cellar train, but it's picking up so much speed. We got to try to pull in the reins here,
Right.
because the last time we went there, we brought Rick Larimore down. Okay,
Right.
he entertained the troops at Walter Reed. Well, he made such an impression down there. They want him back this fall at, we don't know where he's going to be, but they want to bring his whole band. He's going to be sponsored by the U.S. Armed Forces.
Nice.
Because they go down there, put on a big show in a hall, like a concert hall,
Right.
on an auditorium. And, you know, and this is just from going to Bethesda. But when we walk in and we meet General Mills, just walking in the door,
Nice.
he just came back from Afghanistan, and General Mills is standing. He goes, I heard about you guys, and he shook our hands.
Would you like to see it go statewide?
Oh,
I'd like to see
yeah.
it go national. I'd like to see it go
We
national.
want to see it to go national, because the more we get into this, the more we see how serious the situation is, and whatever relief we can give to just, you know, a little amount to these veterans.
As John said, it's a small thing. You know, $50, that's a couple of cups of coffee in a month, a couple of dinners out.
Yeah.
You know, for your
thing-
freedom, it's a small price to
Yeah.
pay.
The thing is, Lisa, we're not asking everybody to give $50 because, you know, right now, you know, times are tough.
Right.
Right.
But we're not asking everybody to give $50. But each person gives $1, $5.
Right.
It all adds up.
Yeah.
Right.
If people just sit back and do nothing,
Right.
we can't help these kids.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do everything I possibly that I can. You know me, how I
Yes,
am, Lisa.
I
You
do.
know me.
I do.
I'll do everything I can possibly do to get these kids these iPods.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's the right thing to do.
It is the right thing to do.
And you'll feel good in your
Be
heart.
proud to be an American. Help these kids out.
Yes, and you'll feel good in your heart when you do it. I know that both of you are very passionate about it. I've heard you, Jay, talk about it many times, and your heart is breaking for these kids. And I know, Paul, it's very important to you as well. So hopefully, folks that are watching today will get involved. We'll take that extra $5 or $10.
I just want to make a quick note. I want to
Sure.
thank Mrs. Brazel. We started a Dear Soldier campaign with the iPods, the first grade class. Her class was the first one. They wrote each wrote letters to all the soldiers with flags. They drew the handwritten it. And
Wow.
and Jay will tell you, we met Mr. California, and it's probably the most emotional moment we've ever had in that trip.
Right.
And he read that letter from the Woburn Street School, and when
know,
we
let's
left that
face
room,
it,
there wasn't a dry eye.
I think
put
that
it
they
this way.
want to know that they're appreciated. They
do.
want to
They
know
do.
that what they're doing matters.
Yeah.
And that's how we say it to them, by doing that. Anything final you'd like the
And you
folks
know,
to know today?
one more
Sure, go
final
right
thing I'd
ahead,
like to say,
please.
Lisa.
Please, Jay.
When this thing goes national,
Yeah.
remember one thing. It started right here in Wilmington and Billerica.
Right.
Right.
These two small towns, it started. Be proud of yourself, people from these towns. Be proud
Right.
of yourself that it did start here.
Excellent.
And Jay's going to the national VFW campaign in San Antonio in August. We got to get that in. So
Wonderful.
he's got to make a big push
Excellent.
out there for it.
How can folks get involved? What do we need to do?
If you want to go on Facebook, look at iPods for Wounded Veterans.
Okay.
It will tell you how to get involved. If you want to donate the car, you can go on Facebook or just call Holland Auto Parts up in Billerica, and they'll tell you everything. They'll come down, pick it up, they'll check the car out. If it's road ready, you have all the paperwork all set.
Excellent.
And you can you have the certificate that you can write it off on your taxes.
Great.
And you have the federal ID number for your for your income tax.
And Jay,
return.
to get more information about the run, do they go to the Facebook page as well?
No, they can go on Michael Parker 5 at Verizon.net.
So they can send him an email asking for
You can
details.
send him an email and he'll answer it. Or you can call the post at 978-528-1992.
Excellent.
And hope everybody shows up. We're gonna have one great time.
Right. And we do want to let you know the rain date is the next weekend, correct?
It'll
That
be
is
August
on the
20th.
20th, right? So even if it rains, we're all set.
Yeah, we're all set,
Either
all
way.
set to go.
And if there's any businesses, we have a lot of businesses donating gift certificates, about their business, whatever, restaurant, whatever they want. We're taking
Well, you
anything.
can donate services as well. If you're an
Any
accountant, maybe
services
you
and
can
anything
donate
like
something.
that.
If you're a hairdresser, you
Yeah.
can donate something.
Yeah, but
There's a
the-
way for
look,
everyone to get involved.
We just come back from Chicago. We met 2 Medal of Honor winners. We were in a ballroom with almost pretty close to 1,000 people, and we got acknowledged. I know you have the booklet there. We're on the
Yes,
back
I do.
cover of
I
that.
have that there. It's
Okay,
right-
with
right
2
here.
Medal of Honor winners. We got acknowledged in front of almost 1,000 people of what we started here. We
But
got
I'm
like
going to bet that even if you didn't, you'd still do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really not about that.
We're doing it for the kids.
you.
We're doing it for these kids.
This is not about John Parker, Paul Cadello, anybody here. It's about the soldiers. They need our help.
Right.
They're calling for some help, and we iPods Wounded Veterans are going to try to be there for them. And I just wanted to thank everybody who's contributed so far, and we're going back to Washington, and this time we're trying to. the main reason why we want this fundraiser is try to get some more iPads. The iPads were like a tremendous hit.
Excellent.
You know?
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for what you're doing, and I'm proud that I know both of you, and I've been able to help out as much as I can, and I hope everybody watching today will do what they can to get involved. There's plenty of ways to get involved, and it is a good cause. We know it's a reputable cause. You can feel secure in knowing that these gentlemen are delivering the iPods and iPads themselves. Nobody's doing it for them. So when you do donate, these gentlemen will be the ones that will be handing your gifts to them.
I got one quick note.
Sure.
No one in this organization is taking a salary yet.
Right,
All the money that's taken out of it is for expenses only,
right.
for what we do, and that's it. And two major sponsors, Textron and Wilmington, Mass, took less than 24 hours. You know, they basically come up with $3,000, and our other corporate sponsor, I can't tell you this, Hudson News out of Worcester, Mass, from Teamster Local 170, has given us $25,000 worth
Wow.
of new magazines.
Wonderful.
And they're
Wonderful.
going to go to every hospital in Massachusetts and
Excellent.
donate magazines this year.
So from what you're saying, people are donating magazines, people are writing letters from schools,
Right.
people are donating money. So there are lots of different ways that you can get involved, and I think you should. So I thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you.
I
Thank
know
you.
you're going to have a very successful day on the 14th and the 20th if it rains, and I will be there to celebrate with you. Just reminding you viewers today that you were watching Where's Wilmington, and the next time somebody asks you Where's Wilmington, you tell them right here and right here on WCTV. Thank you so much for watching.